Yay, your Seint order has arrived. Now what? Hi, I'm Karen Rowland, and I'm a Seint artist. I've been a Seint artist for almost 5 years. And thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Today's video is just going to cover the basics, especially for first-time users. In other words, people who have just received their initial order from Seint, which should include some brushes, a couple of highlights, a bronzer, maybe a contour, maybe some eyeshadows. This video is just going to cover the basics for all that, and it's just going to be a little guide to get you started until you get used to that little learning curve that makes Seint different from traditional makeup. It is what makes it so much better than traditional makeup. It is cream-based formulas. The face products are. The eyeshadows are mostly powders. We do have just a few cream eyeshadows, but what I'm going to show you today, we'll be using the powder ones. So we're going to start with first things first. A clean face, which if you normally moisturize before you put your makeup on, or if you moisturize in the morning, just be sure your moisturizer does not contain any silicones or silicone byproducts, because those just don't work well with our makeup. And you don't need to be putting silicone on your face anyway. So there's that. We do have an amazing line, very simple line of skincare products. There's just 3 or 4 products in the line, which a lot of people really like because it just simplifies the whole skincare process and it gives you the basics of what you need. So I have nothing on my face at all. So we're going to start with contour. I like to start with contour when I'm teaching because it naturally divides the face. But if you did not get contour, just skip this step. All of these steps are going to be very quick. This brush is ideal for contour. It looks like kind of like a broom. Either end you can use for your contour. I actually like to use the smaller end for the cheek contour, just because I can get a more precise line. And to contour your cheeks, you basically just want to enhance that area right under the cheekbone. Think of it as an underwire bra for your cheeks. And then you can flip around to the large end and you can contour the jawline. I like to cut up right there behind the jawline. And you're just going to go along the edge of the jaw and the jawline, and then you blend that down. You don't want to blend it up because a 5 o'clock shadow is not a good look on most women. So then if you want to contour your forehead, just right around the edges there, it helps to minimize. Just think of contour. Contour mimics shadows. So it's meant to enhance that natural shadowing that we have in our face already. And contour will diminish. In other words, make it look like it's receding, whatever you use it on. So if you have a big forehead, contour is going to be handy for making it look smaller. Just like it has this. Okay, now that we've gotten the contour out of the way, if you use that, this is what I'm talking about. It just naturally divides the face. If you did not get contour, no worries. Your dividing line is going to be basically anything below this area is going to be your main highlight. That's where you're going to put your main highlight. Another good way to remember it is everywhere a man's beard grows. So man, mane. They both start with M, and that's where your main highlight is going to go. You're going to grab whatever brush you chose for your main highlight or your highlight application. This is our most widely sold brush. It's the bestseller every single year for 7 years running. This is the 3D brush. And it has a rounded, fluffy end, and it has a more tapered end. All of our brushes are double-ended, so you're really getting a lot of bang for the buck. and it minimizes storage and just having to keep up and find the right brush. You can just flip the brush, go from step to step. So we're going to use this rounded end here to apply the main highlight. And you don't want to swipe. You want to tap into your main highlight. If you're confused between main and accent highlights, your main highlight is always going to be a little bit darker. And if you're unsure, just drop me a message and I'll be glad to tell you to differentiate. But you should be able to tell. Your main highlight is what you're matched to on this part of your face. So your main highlight should very closely match your complexion. Your accent highlight, or some people call it your brightener highlight, is going to be used in this eye area, and it needs to be lighter, brighter, and that's what gives you that glow through the middle of your face. So let's start with our main, and you're just going to tap into it. Now these tins pop in and out. It's the beauty of Seint makeup. When you're running low or use up one tin, you don't have to buy a whole palette, whether it's eyeshadows or whatever. You just order the colors that you need. But I want to demonstrate the tapping method. You're going to tap, tap, don't swipe. This makeup is very pigmented. It's very clean makeup. We pass European standards. As a matter of fact, this year, 2024, we have already been approved for sales in Europe. So that tells you how clean our makeup is, because European standards are much higher than American standards. So it's good makeup. So you're just going to tap, tap, and then you're going to apply it the same way. You're going to tap, tap, sort of using this stippling motion on your skin. Now, you don't have to cover every single inch of your skin with makeup if you don't want to. If you just want to hit the sort of the imperfections, like mine are always my cheeks because of rosacea. So if I wanted to just take that highlight and cover the redness in the rosacea and go about my business, and some days I absolutely do that. I have a sunspot here, so I always do give a little attention to that, and the coverage is just beautiful. So then you're going to go into your accent highlight, because we've already covered, and this is all you have to do. No swiping or rubbing or whatever. You're just stippling it in, and the smallest amount, less is more. The smallest amount is better. So then moving on in your compact, this is why I like to put them in this order from left to right. I know this may be reversed to you, but you're going to do your main first and then your accent. Just flip the brush around to the tapered end. And again, tap, tap into that accent highlight. Now, where you start placing this is important. Painting your face is just like painting a wall or canvas. Wherever you land the brush first is going to deposit more product. So in other words, you don't want to tap into your tin and then immediately go to this small corner of your eye, because there's a lot of texture there and you don't want to leave a lot of product there. So always start here and kind of just work this around until you have just very little left on the brush. And then you can go into that corner, the inside corner of the eye. And then also with what's left on the brush, you can prime your eyelids for your eyeshadow later. That's it. Same thing for the other side. Tap, tap. Start on the fleshier part of your cheek. Work it around. And then finish up with that inner corner of the eye and the eyelid. And then we can blend this out a little more, and that's it. That's your whole face. Now we're going to add just like the extra elements like bronzer and blush and illuminator if you chose to get those. So we're going to go to our next brush. Now you can totally use that same brush to apply everything. You just need to be sure you wipe it off or clean it in between, or else your colors are going to get muddied up. So this is the blush and bronzer brush. It has a big fluffy end for bronzing and blending, and then it has this little rounded end that is perfectly shaped for applying blush. So we're just gonna tap in. Now the order of this really doesn't matter. Sometimes I put my bronzer on first, sometimes I put my blush. But if you want to do blush next, it needs to go right above your contour. Kind of like merging, but not fully blending the two together. Imagine Neapolitan ice cream, if you remember that, but they still make it. It's chocolate, strawberry, vanilla. And it's lined up in the ice cream box, and it's like almost like stripes, but not definitive stripes. The colors kind of blend and merge with each other, and that's kind of the way you can imagine, if you will, contour, if you use contour, blush, and illuminator. So we're going to do illuminator last, but if you do choose to do illuminator, it's going to go right above your blush. So we're really not having to layer a lot of products. All of these products have tremendous coverage on their own, so there's no need in layering a lot of things on top of each other. There's built-in concealers in them, which is great because the less product on your skin, the less texture there is. So that's blush. Next, we're going to go to our bronzer. Just going to flip this brush around to this big fluffy brush. And again, we're going to tap into that bronzer. And I like to bronze like the high parts of the cheek. So bronzer mimics the sun. Bronzer is going to add a warmth to your face. So if you are looking pale or just want to add a little more warmth, like I have a lot of cool coloring with my hair and so forth, so I tend to use a lot of bronzer. I bronze year round, and wherever you add it, just think of those places where if you're out in the sun for an afternoon, like gardening or watching a ball game or just by the pool, those places where you tend to notice the sun starts to add color to your skin first. Those are the places that you want to bronze. You can also bronze your neck. You can add a little warmth here, especially if you have a low cut blouse or dress. You can bronze the décolleté, and a lot of people will do this to even up the discoloration. If you're lighter in the face than on your neck, usually we're really good about using sunscreen on our face, but maybe not so much on the neck. So it helps to even out uneven skin tones. Okay, moving on, last but not least, in our face products is bronze, illuminator or balm, B-A-L-M, balm. A lot of people are just using balm. Now it's clear, but it does add the faintest little bit of glow. And I'm just using my fingers and applying this along the bridge of the nose. Don't put it on the end of the nose unless you want your nose to look longer. Anywhere you apply illuminator, it's the very opposite of contour. It's going to make it pop or look more pronounced. So that's why we've got it on the high points of the cheeks here. Balm is also beautiful used on the lips. After we do our lips, we haven't done those yet, so let's do those now. You can do our lip and cheeks are very versatile. They're blush, they're lipstick, they're even eyeshadows. You can use them for all three. Same with your bronzer and contour. All of our products are multitaskers. They're just like us women. They work hard. And they do multiple jobs. So you can either use your contour or your bronzer for a lip liner. We actually do make a lip liner. It's a beautiful color. It's called Suede. But I'm just going to line with my bronzer. This is Bella bronzer. It's our most common color. It was our only color for a long time. Now we have like 6 different bronzers. So you can see how lining your lips already makes them look larger. So who doesn't want that? So then you can go right in with your lip color. I'm using the multitasker brush. This is just a great little brush. You can do a lot of different things with this brush. You can apply your eyeshadow, you can do your lips. It's just a good detail brush to have. Now, as I said before, we can finish that up with applying that balm just on the pout of the lip. And because of that shine, it makes the lips look more pronounced. Another fun trick is if you got a shimmer eyeshadow. This one is called Kiss. It's a beautiful color, and it's really an eyeshadow, but it looks gorgeous on lips. Isn't that pretty? So lots of multiple uses for your Seint products, and it's still, everything fits in the palm of your hand. Okay, before we go and do eyeshadow, let's go ahead and fill in those brows. Don't forget to give attention to your brows. I know as we age, our brows tend to thin. You can either use an eyeshadow to fill them in, you can use your contour to fill those in, or you can buy, there's lots of brow products on the market. I usually just use either my contour, or I like Labyrinth or London eyeshadows are beautiful gray brown colors that also work really well to fill in your brows. So this is called the line brush. It's made specifically for brows. It has this perfectly tapered brush on one end and a spoolie on the other. So brush your brows up so you can see what you're working with. And then I always start on the bottom because you want the bottom to be a little bit more darkly pigmented than the top. Then as needed, just dip back in. Now I tend to be really scarce on the brows right here in this area. And you see this motion, I call it backfilling. I think by doing that, you can better see that area that you're filling in. And then once you get it filled in, just give them another brush. And the contour, because it's a cream, actually helps hold everything in shape. I mean, look at the difference. The eyes is kind of like shutters on your windows. It just finishes off everything. It frames it out and it gives balance to the face. So don't neglect your brows. We also have a great brow wax. If you have unruly brows and they just tend to go just wherever they want to, you can tame those brows with some brow wax. And I promise you, those girls will still be where you left them that morning. I love our brow wax. And get this little, I like to use just an up and down motion here to fill in those little inner corner areas. Now, they don't have to be identical. You know, your brows are not like identical twins, but they do need to look like sisters, or at the very least cousins. Some days mine look like they were born in different worlds, but today, that's always a little problem spot right there. See, backfilling, for some reason, just helps get the right amount of product there. Brush them up. And then if you have any cleanup to do, just use the spoolie to smooth everything out. That's your brows. Okay, let's move on to eyeshadow. Hopefully you got the eyeshadow brush. I mean, this is a $20 brush and it is a powerhouse of a brush. I love this brush. You know, the reason is it makes me look like I know what I'm doing when I do my eyes. So I like to always start people off with 4 colors. It kind of gives you a wardrobe of eyeshadows. There's always a light color, either Cupcake or Mama, which is your base color. You put that one on first. Then a medium matte color. This is going to be perfect. There's lots of Bubba, Lullaby. I mean, I have lots of favorites that I like to start people off with. And that's going to go over your crease, above your crease, to help diminish hooded eyes. Then we have our darkest matte color. That's what you're going to use for lining. You want to throw away your black eyeliner. That's going to age you, and it looks too harsh. So we want to use this for lining and building a little, if you want a little drama in the outer corner. And then a shimmer. A shimmer is always really good to use, especially if you wear glasses or if your eyes are deeper, if you have any shadowing right here in this area. I love to finish off the look with a shimmer. So let's get started. We're going to use the big fluffy end here of our eyeshadow brush. And again, we are going to tap into this. Always make sure you tap off the excess because you don't want to get drips on your freshly done face. And with this basic neutral color, you're just gonna, that's your base. You're just gonna put it all over your eye area. Basically everywhere you put your accent highlight when you were priming your lids. So let's do this side. And this happens to be Cupcake. Okay, now before I move to the next color, eyeshadow, which is gonna be this medium matte color, this is a color changing tile. And if you don't have this in your compact, this is a good thing to invest in. It's kind of like a spongy material, but it cleans off the excess eyeshadow color of the one you just used before you go to the next color. So this is how you get that cleaner, crisper look in your eyeshadows, is make sure you're not just mixing all those colors together on your brush. Same end of the brush, tap, tap into the wrong one. It's this one. Tap, tap into Lullaby. Knock off the excess. Looking straight ahead with eyes open into your mirror, you're going to apply this medium matte color right here over your crease. The fullest part, or that's the part of your eye that's usually the most hooded. It kind of hangs over the rest of your eye. So by putting this color right there, it's going to help diminish it. Another trick is not to hold your brush up here. That's going to make you do all the work. Let the brush do your work. Hold it back here, and then just let the natural shape of those bristles do the blending. You can blend it out using this windshield wiper motion, or you can do little circles. You're just blending it on like the central third or 2/3 of the eye. You don't want to bring that color way down here. It doesn't matter where the corner of your eyes are. You don't want to put that color there. And you don't want to bring it all the way in. You just want to put it on the hooded part of your eye. Okay, now before we move on, remember we're going to clean off that brush, get that excess color off. Then we're going to flip the brush around to the tapered bullet end, and we're going to apply the darkest color in your quad of colors is going to be your liner. And you're going to start here, and you're just going to tickle it through your lashes. Just run it right through your eyelashes, and we're not going all the way to the inner corner. We're just going about 2/3 of the way. Again, you don't want to do all this work to make your eyes look big and beautiful and bright and then draw a dark circle all the way around them. But we do want to add a little emphasis to that outside corner, and you do want to define the under eye. So that's just with, this happens to be Cocoa as a liner. Now, if you want to do like a little bit more drama, a little bit more definition on the eye, just extend that same color, Cocoa, up toward the end of your brow. And then you want to go back toward your crease color, or over the crease color, sort of like a backward 7. Then, using that same tapered end of the brush, we're just going to use little flicking motions, and we're going to blend that color out, blending it toward the lash line. And then you can honestly make that as dark or dramatic as you want to, depending on just what kind of look you're going for. And then we just want to blend out the edges, smooth out those edges so there's no stark contrast. And again, same thing on this side, just extend that liner color up toward. Now, if you have texture on the outside of your eye, just use a finger to gently anchor the skin, not pulling on it, but just to gently anchor it so that that color, we're able to get our eyeshadow color on the skin and not on the texture. A lot of people will say, I can't, you know, my eyeshadow is creasing. It's not that your eyeshadow is creasing, it's that you're putting it on top of your creases. So as the day goes on, it's looking like it's accentuating your creases. So this little trick here allows you to get the color, whatever eyeshadow color you're applying there, all smoothed out so that there is no creasing. So that's it. That's our 3 colors, except for our shimmer. Now you can use your finger to apply the shimmer. If you have this multitasker brush, this is a really good place to use that. And again, we're just going to place that shimmer on the inner corner to about a little over halfway of the eyeball. Just inner corner. You don't want to use shimmer above your crease. It can accentuate texture, so we don't want to get it above the crease. You want to keep that down below the crease. Okay? And then you can apply your favorite mascara. I know I have some mascara here somewhere. We do not sell mascara yet, but hopefully that is coming. So that is it. Now, one last thing, take care of your investment. Your brushes are an investment, and our brush cleaner will literally preserve your brushes and keep them in brand new condition. If you use makeup every day, then you need to clean your brushes once a week. It is antibacterial, so it will sanitize, it will condition your bristles, it will just get everything clean and nice and clean so that your colors stay true and you're not getting any added bacteria on your skin. If you don't do makeup every single day, you can sometimes stretch that out to a couple of weeks. We also make a brush cleaning soap, which is a deep conditioner that I like to use. Deep cleaning and deep conditioning. I like to use this once a month. It has tea tree in it, so it smells amazing, and it really gets those brushes super clean. When you use this, don't spray it directly on the brushes. As I mentioned, it does have a conditioning oil in it, and you don't want to spray an oil directly on your brush and then take it and jam it into the pores of your skin. So what you want to do is spray it on a paper towel or cloth or whatever, and then take your brush and swirl your brush into that, and it just gets it completely clean, brand new, ready to use again. So I hope this has helped. Any questions that you have, don't hesitate to reach out. If you're not already, if you're on Facebook and you're not already in my beauty group, then look up the Hive, H-I-V-E, the Hive Beauty Group by Karen Barno Rowland, R-O-W-L-A-N-D. Let's be friends, let's hang out. And I do my tutorials there, my lives, my giveaways. That's where the majority of the action is. So be sure you join us over there. Bye. Thank you.